guys, welcome back. Today we're doing another build in this old western town. I think we've got 2 more left? I can't remember. But this is the livery stable, and I have very heavily pulled from a particular barn that it's not even a very exciting building. I just used to work in Virginia City / Nevada City, Montana. And one of the things you do when you are working for the state in the summer is lock up all the buildings in Nevada City at night that are open. And this particular barn was filled with a bunch of old carriages. There was no lights on the inside, but the door was basically 2 really large, almost oversized doors, and then one of them had like a little hole cut out of it. Kind of like Wizard of Oz is just what it reminded me of having the little mini door. And you had to unlock the mini door, crawl through it into the very dark barn. There was another lock there, and then you could go back through the mini door, lock that. Like, it was a whole complicated thing. And I hated it, because you would be in the dark, and the lock on the inside was super persnickety, so you might be in the dark for like several minutes. I wasn't scared of the dark. I was scared of bats and snakes, of which there are plenty. So those were my fears. And yeah, it stuck with me. So it seemed like the perfect barn to portray. I will say, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but while working for the state, there was this particular summer that we had hail, I'm not even exaggerating, the size of golf balls. And it happened in the middle of the day. It was freak and weird. They were saying that there was a tornado that was going to touch down, which I still question that piece of weather logic because it was in the frickin' mountains. But like, listen, I am not a meteorologist. I don't understand the weather. I just know that it happens. So I had to run around Nevada City making people go into buildings so that they didn't die via golf ball sized hail. And I was doing this with a cookie sheet over my head because the hail was falling in, and I didn't want to die. It would brain you. Like, it was big, chunky hail. And the number of people who not only were angry with me for making them go inside, but like, I had to kind of physically make them go in because we would be liable if they got injured to a certain extent. And like, I didn't have a cell phone. I couldn't like record, okay, give your consent that if you die. Like, it was a mess. And I herded a bunch of them because the barn was in the back. I herded like 20 people into that barn, shut it. And I'm like, sorry, you can be in here. Have fun. And then the rest of the people I got towards the front in the music hall, which has a whole bunch of like, they're music machines basically. You put a quarter in, plays a song. But it also includes one of the most obnoxious music machines known to mankind, which was a bunch of horns that was so loud it had to be in the front of the building facing the open door because it would hurt your ears. And I was in that building with the rest of the people, and there was plenty of benches and things, like we could at least sit down while it was storming. And there was lights at least in that building. But some genius gave their kid a bunch of quarters, and that was the only machine they wanted to play. So we're just stuck in a hailstorm, listening to glass break, car alarms going off, mayhem, and then just the loudest horn, like an entire horn section, on repeat, because the kid kept going over there, and like, it took everything I had in me to not just bodily pick up this child and carry him away from the machine. Like, it was the worst. And then, like, after it was over, these people had the audacity to complain. They wanted a refund on their ticket. I'm like, it was a freak hailstorm and you were indoors for 20 minutes. That did not ruin your vacation. Sorry, Mary. Probably should have done it, to be honest, but I was, I think, 20 when this was happening. 20. I was young, and I did not care. Like, could not be bothered. This is pre-therapy, pre-diagnosis and medication. Like, I did not give a shit. They're like, I'm gonna complain to your supervisor. I'm like, go ahead, I live with her. Because at the time, my boss, I was very good friends with her daughter, and my parents... I was no longer living at home. Their choice, not mine. And I was basically sleeping on her couch. She took me to work every day. And I'm like, go ahead. I'm gonna tell you right now, she's gonna laugh in your face because she doesn't care either, because she had worked in, like, customer service her whole life. So at that point, nothing could faze her, nothing could bother her. She also could not be bullied. So I was like, go ahead. Here's her name. You want her phone number? I've got her personal number. She will happily talk to you. But you will regret it. Never heard anything. It was a fun job, actually, now that I think about it. I complained a lot, but, like, that's because there was a lot of BS. But it was fine. The first summer that I worked there, I worked on the train. I was a conductor. And when I say train, I mean the one that they ran during the week that is basically... It was a Pinto engine. Like, it was a car shaped like a little train. It was very silly. And then the weekends, they would run the big steam engine, which I think they actually don't run it anymore. I'm not sure if it's because it was too expensive to fix, or with the amount of fires that it set, they were just like, you know what? We're not going to run this anymore. I do not know the answer to that. The second year I worked there, they hired this lady that was just... She was kind of a demon. And I did my best to practice kindness and understanding with this lady. But by the end of the summer, I was right along with everybody else being a demon. She was just mean and nasty for no reason. She loved to ruin your day. She seemed to take great pleasure in making mean comments, again, for no reason, making you do things for no reason. Like, you were not allowed to question her. Nothing. But she unfortunately made the very, again, unfortunate decision to let us know that she hated the word coupon. Because apparently where she was from, there was people that would mispronounce coupon and say coupon. And so for the rest of the summer, we would say that word in every single sentence that we could. We all, without, like, even discussing it, we all just decided this woman is a Karen. She is a demon. And we need to annoy her in any way, shape, or form. Doesn't matter. And that's what we did. And I still say coupon sometimes when people are being difficult, because that's what it reminds me of. And it was always just, like, petty, really mean behavior. Like, you'd say, hey, I'd really like this day off. It's my grandmother's birthday or something. And, like, you would ask ahead of time. You would be respectful. She would intentionally not give it to you. And she would complain about wardrobe, even though we didn't have a uniform. She would come in and, like, touch a windowsill and be like, this is a little dusty. Like, just constant behavior. Honestly, I think she had a lot going on and was just taking it out on us, but I digress. We are done with the livery stable, so thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, please give it a like. It really does help. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Like I said, I think we're almost done. Bye, guys.